Hey, hi, all. Welcome back to BRR Knowledge Center. So, in this today's session, we'll talk about the demonstration part of dynamic keyword in C Sharp. So, basically, when we talk about dynamic keyword, so as I mentioned in the earlier session, it was introduced in C Sharp 4.0, right? The basic purpose of this, dynamic keyword is, right? If you want to, avoid, right, the compile time type checking, we have to use a dynamic keyword. So the compiler does not check the type of the dynamic type variables at compile time. Instead, the compiler gets the type at the runtime. That means you basically have two phases when you run a program: compile time and runtime, right? So this dynamic keyword avoids, right, the type checking process while at compile time, right? That way, it is reduce the compile time, right? And avoid the dynamic keyword variable declaration, right? So instead of this, the type will get assigned at runtime. So the syntax is simple, right? Dynamic, right? Number equal to return. So while you declare like this, it is going to avoid the type checking at compile time, and at runtime it is going to give you the relevant type like your integer. So let us see the example, like how it is very useful in the C sharp programming and how it is working. Let me open my editor here, right? I'll do one thing. I'll just declare int I equal to some 10, right? And long L is normal one. When I say L equal to I, right? It is automatically, assign the value because this is something like lesser data type, right? The long is almost, 8 bytes and this is 4 bytes. So hence it is, right, implicitly converting and assigning the value to L variable, right? And then you print the, values like of dollar of, right? I is I, right? And L is L, right? So that it is going to print you the exact values of, right, the in L variables, right? If I run this program, right, it is going to print you the, right, the in L variable values are same, right? Now I wanted to do this process in reverse way, right? Dynamic keyword. So I want to do this in a different way, like so I wanted to define this as, right, in reverse order. Let me comment this, right. This time I am defining L equal to 50, and this time int I equal to, right, L. If I give this, it is going to tell you there is a problem in converting because this is a bigger data type and this is smaller data type, right? Definitely it will tell you cannot implicitly convert type long to int. It cannot implicitly convert because it requires typecasting, right? Until unless use convert dot to int, right? 64, right? So 32, 4 bytes integer, it won't accept it. But I don't want to do this typecasting, right? And I want to, minimize the type checking while by compiling my program. So what I'll do is I'll just simply declare this as dynamic. Now you can see that it won't give you any problem, right? And you just run this program, right? Till you get same values because the dynamic keyword is assigning the data type as an integer at runtime. Sorry, here long because you are assigning long variable to I. I basically defined as a dynamic, which is a dynamic program, right? and you assign long value to I, right? I means your dynamic, and at runtime, this is going to resolve as long time. That's why it is showing a value. Got it? This is how it is working when you use a dynamic keyword. Got it? So that's similarly like that. So you can use this dynamic program wherever you wherever it is required to assign some dynamic values, which actually you are not aware of this stuff, right? And even if I say like I plus plus like this, it won't give you any problem because I'm skipping the type checking in the compile, right? It won't give any problem here until unless, right, it goes to a runtime, it won't give you any problem. And even when I press I dot, it won't give you any intelligence because this is not at all resolved at a compile time. These are some kind of benefits and the disadvantage of using dynamic keyword. Hence, so always not no ideally suggesting to use this dynamic keyword. But certain cases where when you want to get some data from outside, which you are not aware of it, what data is coming out and what data type it is, then you define as a dynamic and then assign it. Basically, in C sharp, the integer, boolean, double, date time, these are all static data types, right? But this dynamic only is the dynamic data type which will implement the dynamic program, right? If you declare the static data types like long and int and kind of stuff, so all these are static data types, meaning type checking and type safety are enforced only at compile time. But dynamic keyword does not enforce the compile, right? Or does not enforce to type checking at compile time. So it is not advisable, right, to use the dynamic type unless you are integrating with the dynamic language or another framework where types are not known at a compile time. When you're not known about the type like of the value, then you have to use dynamic. Otherwise, it is not advisable to use dynamic type. Okay? Because the compiler does not know what type the dynamic variable will eventually become it, right? So that's why it's unable to offer a method or property called hint in Visual Studio. That's why when I press I, it doesn't show you anything. When I press I, it doesn't show anything because, right, the compiler does not know what type the dynamic variable will eventually become at runtime. That's why it is not offered any method or property at compile time. Okay. So I hope you understand the kind of dynamic keyword purpose, right? And the right way of writing a program. So without having a conversion object usage to convert the type into another data type. Got it? Thanks for listening to this video and right, please subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.